we'll let this thing drain. We also have the fill pulled out as well for maximum airflow. Oil filter is on and tight to manufacturer spec.
It's like it's got a caffeine headache and it needs a nice cold Diet Coke or something.
The yard test. It's official. Welcome back, everybody. It is the next day. We are getting into some things here at the shop. I'm about to pull my car in because last night my low oil light came on and I had the realization that I am due for an oil change. So we're gonna pull my car in and get that underway. In the meantime, Chris has picked up where he left off yesterday and he is actively changing the oil.
Filling.
No surprises yet?
No disco parties. I'd like to keep it that way.
So that's good news. But on this side of the shop, I'm going to move some stuff around. And I think we can get enough room here to get my car pulled in. Got to move the forklift. Got some stuff here on the ground. Got to air that tire up before we pull the Ranger out. And then I'm hoping I can pull in right here. Let's get that underway. All right, we got that aired up. Let's get this thing pulled out and get the rest of the floor cleaned up so we can get the car pulled in. Yesterday we pulled off this seed tube that got pinched up there, and we climbed up there and got that switched out with a new one. But I'm gonna tie up this one with some zip ties so we can save it just in case if we need it down the road. Hopefully we don't, but better safe than sorry. All right, we got everything cleared here. Floor's a little dirty, so I'm gonna get it swept up quick and then we'll get the car pulled in. All right, we got the shop floor swept. It's looking good enough to work on. This is gonna be your guys' intro to the White Pearl. It is actually my girlfriend's and she drove it in high school and college. I drive it now and it does better on gas mileage than any other vehicle here, so it's gonna get some love today. Okay, this is what we're working with for supplies. I already stopped in town this morning, picked up the oil that I need. I bought a 2-pack of filters off of Amazon, so this is the second one out of the pack. So we're going to use that this time, and then I'll order more for the next time. Socket sets, ratchet, light. Gonna go grab the jack stands and we'll get this thing up in the air. Okay, we got the car up in the air. We're gonna crawl under it and crack the drain plug. Got the container under the car as well. We'll let this thing drain. We also have the fill pulled out as well for maximum airflow. Okay, all the oil is drained out of the car. We are now on to getting the oil filter removed. So we'll get a oil filter wrench on that because the last person, meaning me, put it on way too tight. So there's something I never tried before. Put a little solo cup around the filter, let it drain in there. Actually worked out pretty good. One thing you always want to do is make sure that your seal for your oil filter came out when you took the filter out. Because the last thing you want to do is, sometimes it'll get stuck up here on the oil filter housing up here, and if you don't make sure you got that out, you'll go to put in your next filter and double up the seal, and then it may leak. Okay, we got the drain plug back in and tight, oil filter is on and tight to manufacturer spec, and gonna go in with 10W30, that's what this car calls for, and fill it up till it's full. Alright, oil change is done. We got everything buttoned up, everything's tight, oiled up to the level. Gonna run it here, check it again, verify that it's still at the top. We're gonna clean up the mess we made here, kind of in the middle of that already. We gotta go dump this old oil in our oil container, old oil container, or used oil container. Okay, we're over here on the cold storage side of the shop. We keep this old container of used oil over here as a place to dump our old and used oil into. So I've got the old oil here from the car. We're going to dump it into this container here that the nozzle is pointed down into the container itself, and then it just slowly flows into the container. It looks like it's getting pretty full, so we're going to have to watch that going forward. So we'll just dump this all in here, and then once it gets pretty much empty, I like to prop it up in a way where it's still upright and it can continue to drain. Alright, something like that will work. Dumped it in there, we'll leave it propped up so it can continue to drain. We also put the filter in here. Okay, on to the next thing. We finalized everything with the tractor. Everything on that should be good to go. The planter needed the tires checked and aired up. That's good to go. We also greased a few things. I don't think everything is greased on the planter side yet, but we'll get that done here after we do the yard test. It's official. Yard testing.
So Mike's got this jumper hose on right here. We're bleeding the downforce system. It's got active flow, and we need to let it go for 2 to 5 minutes is what I read. So the camera doesn't pick it up, but this thing it's shaking. It's like it's got a caffeine headache and it needs a nice cold Diet Coke or something. But that'll clean up. So we're just waiting for this to bleed down, and then we'll go on to the next segment. So there's a lot of checking that we're doing here.
All right, so we had the planter in the ground and pulled forward about 5-6 feet, maybe more than that. made a line in the ground, and now we are lining up the closing discs to make sure that they're aligned. And there's a few of them that we're gonna be adjusting, have adjusted. Basically, when you look down the row, you want your trench to line up with the closing disc in the center of the closing discs. Now we do that a lot more times.
Bar with the center of the drive axle to adjust the TCM, or make sure that it's correct.
So a minute ago he was facing that way with the tractor. Made a mark here. And then he went and did a whole 360 or 180 I guess, and is now facing north. And we just lined him up.
It'll give him a new number for the TCM calibration. And now he'll be able to check a couple of passes and see if his gap row is perfect.
Fuel find.
Gap right here. Almost dead on 30.
Okay, we just got back home. You guys just saw us field test the planter, and basically with that we dropped the planter down into the ground and ran it like we were actually planting, and double checked our spacing with the guidance, and pretty much got that dialed in the way that we like it. And we may have to mess with it a little bit in the future. And Chris just got here. We're going to back the planter and tractor back into the shop because we have to grease it. That's the next thing that needs done. And yeah, so he's just backing up right now. We'll get this back into the shop. All right guys, I think that's gonna be it for this video. It's Sunday, getting late. We're gonna go home and relax for the rest of the day and get back at it on Monday. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave comments. We love reading them, and we'll see you next time.